A thriving garden starts long before spring arrives. Its roots are in winter planning. Even as the landscape lies dormant beneath a blanket of snow, the most fruitful gardens are already taking shape in the minds of their caretakers. While the world outside sleeps, the wise gardener is busy mapping out the season ahead. Winter is the perfect time to dream, research, and set intentions for the coming year, turning quiet moments indoors into opportunities for growth. The Amish know that healthy soil is the heart of a successful garden, and winter is the time to nurture it. They enrich their soil with compost, mulch, and organic matter, building a foundation that will support strong, resilient plants when the thaw comes. Instead of rushing to buy seeds in spring, they carefully plan crop rotation and companion planting months in advance. This thoughtful preparation helps them avoid last-minute decisions and ensures every plant has its place. This detailed mapping prevents soil depletion and naturally deters pests. By rotating crops and pairing them wisely, they create a balanced ecosystem that supports healthy growth year after year. For example, after growing nutrient-hungry crops like tomatoes, they'll plant beans or peas to restore nitrogen. This cycle keeps the soil fertile and reduces the need for synthetic fertilizers, making the garden more sustainable. They also pair plants like marigolds and tomatoes to boost natural defenses. Marigolds help repel harmful insects, protecting tomatoes and other vegetables without chemicals. Winter is for reflecting on last year's wins and losses, what thrived, what struggled, and why. Reviewing garden journals and notes helps identify patterns and inspires new ideas for improvement. Early seed orders and gathering supplies now mean less stress and more success later. By preparing ahead, you can choose the best varieties and avoid shortages when spring demand is high. This methodical approach transforms gardening from a frantic spring scramble into a mindful, rewarding practice. Planning brings peace of mind and allows you to savor each step of the process. The Amish show us that a bountiful harvest is built on patience, strategy, and respect for the land. Their traditions remind us that gardening is not just about growing food, but about nurturing a living system. By planning now, you set the stage for a season of abundance. Every thoughtful decision you make in winter will echo through the months ahead, rewarding you with a healthier, gray, more productive garden. Your garden's future is decided in these quiet months. The choices you make now will shape the beauty and bounty you enjoy when the world awakens. Start with the soil, plan with intention, and let every decision serve the health of your garden. Remember, a well-planned garden is a gift to yourself and the earth. The rhythm of the seasons begins with your winter vision. Let your planning be the first seed you plant for a flourishing year ahead. As winter wanes and the days slowly lengthen, the Amish begin preparing the soil, long before the first signs of spring appear. This is a time of quiet anticipation, when the land still slumbers under a thin blanket of snow, but the promise of new growth is just beneath the surface. They work before the ground fully thaws, taking advantage of the unique conditions late winter offers for soil preparation. Well-aged manure is spread atop frozen beds, allowing the natural freeze-thaw cycles to gently work nutrients deep into the earth. This method is both efficient and gentle, minimizing soil disturbance. Over time, this natural process aerates the soil and builds fertility without the need for heavy tilling or machinery, preserving the delicate structure of the garden beds. Wood ash, which is rich in potassium and lime, is also sprinkled sparingly to boost plant health and provide essential minerals that many soils lack after a long winter. But before adding ash, the Amish carefully check the soil pH, ensuring the balance is just right for the coming season. Too much ash can make soil too alkaline, which can harm future crops, so moderation and careful observation are key to success. Both manure and ash are applied now, allowing the winter weather, snow, rain, and thaw, to naturally incorporate these amendments into the soil, enriching it for the months ahead. This balanced, gentle approach is what creates the famously fertile Amish soil, year after year, supporting abundant harvests. The result is a garden primed for healthy, resilient growth come spring, with strong roots and vibrant plants ready to thrive. By working with nature's cycles and respecting the rhythms of the land, you prepare your soil for a season of abundance and beauty. The groundwork for success is always laid before the first seed is sown. Careful preparation now leads to effortless growth later. Let late winter be your secret weapon for a thriving garden, and watch as your efforts blossom into a bountiful harvest when spring finally arrives. When spring arrives, the Amish test soil readiness by touch, not by calendar. If a handful of soil forms a loose ball that crumbles easily, it's time to plant. For early crops like peas, soaking seeds overnight speeds up germination and boosts yields. Tiny seeds, carrots, radishes, are mixed with sand or coffee grounds for even spacing, saving time and effort later. Planting is done with patience, matching each crop to the right conditions. Cool weather vegetables like spinach, lettuce, and peas thrive when planted early. Waiting for perfect soil conditions prevents compaction and poor growth. The Amish approach: small, thoughtful actions for big results. Listen to your soil, not the calendar. Early spring is about working with nature, not against it. These simple techniques set the stage for your first delicious harvests. As summer heat arrives, watering becomes crucial. The Amish water deeply but infrequently, encouraging strong, drought-resistant roots. Early morning is the best time, reducing evaporation and disease risk. Soaker hoses or drip irrigation deliver water right to the roots, keeping leaves dry. For feeding, they use homemade manure tea, aged manure steeped in water, then diluted to nourish plants gently. This natural fertilizer supports steady growth and abundant harvests. Avoid synthetic chemicals. Feed the soil, not just the plants. Consistent, mindful watering and feeding build long-term soil health. These habits ensure your garden thrives through summer's challenges. Sustainable care now means a productive garden for years to come. The Amish never let soil sit bare. Succession planting keeps gardens productive. As soon as one crop is harvested, another is sown in its place. Quick crops like bush beans follow early potatoes, fall carrots replace bolted lettuce. This cycle maximizes harvest from spring to frost. Succession planting also protects soil, conserves moisture, and feeds beneficial microbes. Roots left behind decompose, enriching the earth for future crops. Planting small batches every few weeks ensures a steady supply, not a single glut. Think of your garden as a series of opportunities, not a one-time event. This approach transforms even small spaces into continuous sources of fresh food. Smart planning means more food, healthier soil, and less work. As autumn arrives, the Amish prepare their gardens for rest and renewal, following traditions passed down through generations. The changing leaves signal a time of transition, not just for the land, but for the people who tend it. Garlic is planted in fall, its roots growing strong beneath winter mulch for a summer harvest. This simple act connects the present to the future, as each clove becomes a promise of abundance when the warm months return. After the final harvest, beds are cleared of diseased plants to break pest and disease cycles. This careful attention helps ensure that next year's crops will be healthier and more resilient. Healthy debris goes to compost, where it will slowly transform into rich, nourishing soil. The rest is removed to keep the garden clean and safe. Beds are then covered with thick mulch, leaves, straw, or hay, to insulate soil and prevent erosion. This layer shields the earth from harsh winter winds and heavy rains. This protective layer also suppresses weeds and feeds the soil as it breaks down, returning nutrients and organic matter to the earth. The garden is tucked in, allowing earthworms and microbes to thrive through winter. Beneath the surface, life continues, unseen but essential, preparing the soil for spring's awakening. These final tasks ensure a healthier, more fertile garden next spring. The effort invested now will be rewarded with lush growth and bountiful harvests. The cycle ends with care and begins with hope, as each season builds upon the last, weaving a story of patience and renewal. Even as the garden sleeps, you're already planting the seeds of next year's success. Every action taken now is an investment in the future. Winter is not an end, but a vital part of the gardening rhythm, a time for the earth to rest, restore, and prepare for the promise of spring. The Amish gardener's most powerful tool is a simple journal. Recording planting dates, weather, successes, and failures turns experience into wisdom. A garden map helps plan crop rotation and avoid repeating mistakes. Notes on pests, diseases, and standout varieties guide next year's choices. Reviewing your journal winter makes planning smarter and more personal. Every season's lessons become strategies for improvement. The garden teaches quietly. Your journal helps you listen. This habit connects past harvests to future plans. With each entry, you become a better gardener, learning from your own land. True abundance comes from observation, reflection, and growth, season after season.